love when you think that you are ugly. Hello ladies, thanks for tuning in. Before we start, please like and subscribe. Like you have the heart emoji here, and if you are watching this replay on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up. So this live is for you if you feel like you are the plain Jane, like at school you were not the that pretty girl that all the men wanted to date. You were the girl next door, like you are known for being smart, having a successful career and all of that. But no, you can't say that you were the woman, well, the girl that all the boys wanted to date. And even today, like, you know that you aren't a baddie and you want to do something about it. Okay, so let me type in the title. Hi Berfu, how are you? Hi Anna Laura, how are you? So, how to find love when you aren't a baddie. How to find love when you're not a baddie. Okay, let me pin it. Okay. For those of you who can't stay until the end, don't worry, I'm gonna put the replay on YouTube. So I took some notes actually. Like I have my phone with me, I took some notes. So we're gonna go through the notes and then I'm gonna answer your questions. So today we're gonna talk about how to find love when you aren't a baddie. So that's for women who are known for being smart, intelligent, sweet, but they have always been the girl next door and they don't feel like a baddie. So yeah. So first of all, I want to talk about the impact that this has on you, because there is a risk actually when you don't feel like a baddie. So first of all, not feeling like a baddie means that you don't feel super confident. It's sad and I wish it was different, but it's important for us women to feel like baddies because our confidence is rooted in that. Not totally, but like a huge chunk of our confidence is based on how we look and us being attractive to the opposite sex. I wish, like, I'm a feminist and all of that, so I wish it was different, but psychologically it's important for us to know that we are attractive, because when we are attractive, we feel entitled to a certain type of men as well. So I'm gonna explain it. So I remember a few years ago when I was working at a company in South Africa, I had a male colleague, complaining about the kind of women he was able to have. And he went like, oh, I'm tired of getting average looking women, but since I don't make much, I'm only getting average looking women. And before that, I would think, oh, a man would complain because he wasn't getting women at all. But no, that's not that. Most men actually get women, but the thing is, like, they aren't satisfied because those women don't make them dream, because those women aren't baddies. And I know what he said is controversial, because you're not supposed to give people numbers and all of that, but I also want you to understand how men think actually, even when what they say is controversial. So here he says, since I don't make much, I'm only getting average looking women. And you see, the thing with the woman who doesn't think that she's a baddie, she thinks, oh, at least I have someone, I just want someone who wants me. But a woman who is a 10, and the kind of women most men want, that woman has high self-esteem. It means that she feels entitled to dating some certain type of men, whereas a woman who doesn't feel that attractive, she just wants someone to like her and to date her. But a woman with high self-esteem doesn't just want to date. She wants someone who is amazing. She wants princess treatment and all of that. That's the reason why working on feeling like a baddie is crucial. Otherwise, you will always be unfulfilled in love. And that's the reason why so far you have been dating men who were inconsistent and all of that. And I want you to do a little test. Actually, if you are on dating apps, I want you to do something. You notice that some men date you, well, some men initiate with you and others don't. And I want you to do a little test. Open one of the dating apps that you use and initiate with a guy who never messaged you and say something like, hey, hi, what are you looking for? And if he says, I'm looking for something serious, and then you can talk to him as if he were a friend, because you know that he's not for you already. Because if you initiate, it means that he's not for you. And if you had a match with him for days or weeks and he never reached out, it means that you are not his real type. You see. So yeah, you know that already. I have mentioned that many times. And if you are new to my page or new to my YouTube channel, please check my other videos because I talk about it a lot. But yeah, just do this and start talking with this guy as if he was a guy friend, and ask him about his type and what he's looking for and what has been his struggles. What has been his struggles on the app. And he's gonna tell you something like, yeah, the women, I don't like too much the women that I meet. And you're gonna be like, oh, that's surprising, because like on his profile, I'm sure you matched, you swiped right on someone that seemed, great. Like maybe you saw his job title, he was told kind of handsome and all of that. So that's the reason why you matched him, and you assumed that he had a lot of matches, a lot of dates, a lot of women and all of that. But even though he stands out a bit compared to the average guy, he's still not satisfied, because most of the women he meets aren't attractive. You see. And when men say this woman isn't attractive, it's never just about the physical features. Like, we can work on the physical features, like, with the body, you can work out. Like, any woman can look better in 30 minutes a day, you see. And by that, like with that, I count the workout, the makeup, because it takes time actually to do it right. Like, I'm still not super confident with my makeup when I compare to what other women do on YouTube. Like, I just have the basics down. But yeah, anyway, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, any woman can look pretty under 30 minutes, and the gym doesn't have to be every day. Like, with just 2 or 3 workouts, intensive workouts a week, you can look a lot better. And today I don't want to focus too much on the appearance. Like, if you are interested in that, I can make more videos about that. Like, I have made a few videos on how to level up physically and all of that on YouTube. And if you need personal help and you want me to have a look at how you could level up to make yourself look like a baddie, please send me a DM on Instagram, like DM me baddie, so that I can have a look at the things that you can improve and give you a free consultation. But yeah, today I want to talk more about the things that aren't related to how you look directly, because this is also being a baddie. And let me explain why. So a while ago, I remember asking a guy what was the difference for him between a 9 and a 10. And you might be thinking, oh, but if a guy says that I'm a 9, then it means that I'm super attractive. But I still wanted to understand the mindset behind it. And I got an answer that stuck with me forever. And you know what that guy said? So when I said, what is the difference for you between a 9 and a 10? He answered, attitude. And this is what we're gonna talk about. Okay? How to develop the attitude of a body. Okay? Because that's what many women lack. And even the pretty women, many of them don't have the attitude of a body. That's the reason why they get taken for granted. So if you want me to continue, please give it a thumbs up. Like on YouTube, you're gonna put like a thumbs up, and if you are on Instagram, please click on the heart emoji, because when you click on the heart emoji, you send a signal to Instagram that you are enjoying this live, and more women will join, and the more the merrier. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Okay, so because right now you don't feel like a baddie, you get friend zoned. You see, this is what happens when you don't feel like a baddie. You don't act like a baddie, so men see you like a little friend. So that's the reason why you have some little date, like a croissant date, a donut date, a coffee date, and all of that. Those are the women men take to those kind of dates. You see, but when you position yourself as a baddie, men take you seriously and they come with a plan to make you extra happy. So you need to listen carefully. So, one thing that I have noticed is that women who don't feel like a baddie and who think that they are the plain Jane and men treat them as such are women who gonna over explain themselves. So let me give you an example. So once I had a male colleague actually flirting with a girl who was working in our department, and that girl was really pretty to me, but the way he was chatting with her didn't make me feel that he felt like she was a baddie. So what I'm getting from this is that she was pretty to me because I'm a woman, so I look at her with the eyes of a woman, but as a guy, like, he has different eyes basically. So I felt like she was a little bit boring to him. Like, I didn't feel like he perceived her as a challenge, and she did something that made me understand that. So they were chatting via text, and at some point he saw her on Tinder, and then he sent her screenshots, and then she started to over explain herself. Oh no, I created an account on Tinder because my friend wanted to try it out, but there was something not working, so I created an account to show her how to do it, blah blah. So yeah, she over explained herself, and the guy told her, no, it's fine, we aren't married. You see, so that's one thing that you might be doing when you don't feel like you are a baddie. You tend to over explain yourself and you don't own what you do. Okay, so maybe you're wondering right now, okay, how a woman who is self-assured would behave if the guy sent her screenshots of her Tinder profile. So a girl who's secure would just laugh about it, and or maybe be playful about it, like, oh my god, I look so hot on those pics, you see, and that's it. Another thing that you might be doing because you don't feel like a baddie is that you actually put yourself in the friend zone on your own, like with the way that you speak, with the mindset that you have as well. Because actually a woman who thinks that she's a baddie, a woman who doesn't think that she's ugly and all of that, she assumes attraction. Here's what I mean. So when a guy approaches her or does something sweet for her, she doesn't think, oh, he does that because he's sweet or polite. She thinks, oh, he does that because, of course, I'm attractive. You see, you need to start assuming attraction. Instead of thinking that everyone wants to be your friend, well, every guy wants to be your friend, you need to start assuming attraction. You see, because if you assume that he's attracted by you, it's gonna increase your confidence, because a woman actually who is confident in her looks, she's confident partly because she attracts a lot of looks. And another thing that I want to mention is that there is a difference between how men get validation and how women get validation. So a guy gets validation through sex. So when a guy has sex, he thinks, thank God, I just had sex, I'm a man, like everything's alright, I'm a man. Whereas a woman who is secure in her femininity and who is secure in her ability to attract a guy doesn't need sex for validation. But when you tend to have casual hookups, and you see this as a strategy to get the guy, and deep down actually is a strategy for you to feel attractive, this is you being in your wounded feminine energy. Because when you're attractive and all of that, and you know that you're attractive, you don't need the sex. Okay, what makes you feel attractive, and what gives you validation is the compliments you get, the gifts, the act of service, and all of that. That's how a woman who is a baddie gets the validation that she's a baddie. You see. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to mention. And yeah, maybe you have been getting validation from the casual hookups that you got in the past and all of that, but really, like, that's more wounded feminine energy. That's more being insecure. You see, like, as a secure woman, what makes you feel good is not the sex alone, is the sex in a committed relationship, is the gifts, is the flower, is the deep commitment. That's how a woman who is secure in herself validates herself. You see. So I'm not talking about, that deep sense of self-worth that you have as a human being, as a spiritual being, and all of that. Right now I'm talking about, dating, attraction, and all of that, and the work that we have been doing since I created this page. Okay. And by the way, like, if you have been, reading a few books on femininity, anxious attachment, and you still aren't making much progress, and you are still wasting a lot of time on the wrong men, and you are wasting a lot of time actually, buying courses and not seeing results, I really invite you to book a free discovery call with me so that I can have a look at what you're doing wrong. You see, because right now you don't know what you are doing wrong. And I don't know if you read the book Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, the FBI negotiator. And if you haven't, please read it, because this is one of my favorite books. He said that there is a black swan in negotiation, and the black swan is the things that you don't know. You see, so in everything that you are doing, when it's not working, ask yourself, what is the thing that I don't know? Who can help me see what I'm not seeing? You see, and I want to be that person for you. So yeah, please send me a DM and I'm gonna give you a free consultation. So if you are watching this on YouTube, my Instagram handle is in the description box, but basically it's high value queens. If you type it on Instagram, you're gonna find me. Okay. So yeah, you don't assume attraction. And another thing that shows that you don't think that you are a baddie is that you aren't playful enough. So I want to give you examples of how you can actually implement it now. So, for example, when he says, "Oh, you Polish and Mexican," oh, that's a beautiful combination. So a woman who doesn't think that she's a baddie, she will just say, "Thank you." But a woman who thinks that she's a baddie, she's gonna be playful around it. Like, that's just an example. Like, you can apply this under different situations. But a woman who wants to be, who is a baddie and who is working on it, can copy what I'm saying here. So when he's gonna say, "Oh, you're Polish and Mexican," oh, that's a sexy combination. Instead of saying "thank you," what you can say is, "Oh yeah," like this, and with that smile, and you make eye contact with him, and you love her body together. You see, it's a bit like you are being cocky, but at the same time you love her body because you don't take yourself that seriously either. You see, so that's just an example. So I want you to think about how you could apply it to the compliments that you tend to get often. And maybe you have a date this week, like, it's okay for you to practice that a bit. Okay. So another example is for example, if he says, "Oh, I went to the gym." So a woman who puts herself in a friend zone will say something like, "Oh, nice. How many times a week do you go to the gym?" But you need to sexualize the conversation a little bit, and you need to assume attraction once again. So what you need to do instead is tell him, like, "Oh, okay, you're trying to grow those biceps to impress me." You see, so a woman who speaks like that is a woman who is self-assured, and it's a woman who assumes attraction. Okay. And actually have another example for you. And so, for example, when a guy will approach you, I don't know, maybe at a party or at an event, he's gonna end up asking for your number. And one thing that you can do as well, to show up like a baddie, is when he says, I would love to stay in touch, like, do you have Instagram, or can you give me your phone number? You can say, oh yeah, I saw it coming, you see, but like with a smile, obviously. And he's gonna say something like, what do you mean you saw it coming? And you can say, yeah, the minute you came to me, you knew what, like, you came because you liked what you saw, you see. So yeah, that's you acting like a baddie, because women who are confident, this is how they speak. Okay? Don't worry, guys, if you missed the beginning, I'm gonna put the replay on YouTube. Like, I will certainly put it on, it's gonna be live on YouTube on Wednesday. Like, I try to, like, tomorrow you're gonna have a post on Instagram, and then on Wednesday I'm gonna put the replay of this live. But like, are you enjoying what I'm saying? Like, do you find it helpful? Like, I'm always looking for ways, and I'm always trying to give you my best advice, like here on Instagram or even in my free newsletter. Like, I don't know if you guys are part of my newsletter. If you aren't, please send me a DM, because you're gonna get free chapters of my femininity guide, and you also get weekly tips. And I'm sorry, but those weekly tips, I give my best advice. I share the top strategies that I use behind closed doors with my students. So if you miss the email of the week, I won't send it back, okay? I don't send the same email twice. So I really encourage you to join the newsletter today. Like, it's free, and those advice are actionable, okay? And when you have a question, you can just answer my emails, and I always answer. So let me wear my glasses, because some of you left some comments and I need to read it. So Regina is saying, what does the baddie say? Can you say it, please? Can you say it again? So I'm not sure what you were referring to. Like, I talked a lot, but yeah, I was saying that. So Sandra is saying it's not easy to not be a baddie and find love, or maybe it's just better to be a baddie. No, it's better to be a baddie. Always better to be a baddie. Okay. So what are the things that you think that you should do more to be a baddie? And can you feel the consequences of you not feeling a baddie? Like, what are the things that you wish you could do if you thought that you were a baddie? Like, maybe what are the experiences that you would like to have if you increased your self-esteem and also changed that image you have, when you date? Like, are you ready to go from, that plain Jane who is known just for being smart, sweet, and all of that, to being, that baddie who is known for being smart, sweet, hard worker, but also a baddie? Don't you think that this would add character and multi dimensions to who you are already? Don't you think that this would make you attractive? And what I think as well is that a lot of people think that there is a box, and they grew up in that box, and they need to stay in that box. But that's not true at all. You see, you can really become whoever you want to become. You can do it on your own, it takes longer, or you can work with a coach. It's up to you. So what is a coping tool that can help shift your anxious attachment style into an assured attachment? So first of all is, well, there are many things, and I would have to look at what you do, on a weekly basis to be able to give you tailored advice. But one thing that I can say already is working on making yourself more attractive. You see, so if you're already attractive, then that's not something that would give you the most progress. So I'm assuming that you are attractive, but you don't know enough people. So that's the reason why you tend to have that scarcity mindset when you meet that great guy. You see, so I would say work on your soft skills to increase your network, because think about it. Imagine now you have David Beckham in your DM, an NBA player, a prime minister of I don't know what country, a governor, the son of Bill Gates or whatever. Imagine you have them in your DMs. Don't you think that you would be more secure? So some women need to have men who are at that level, and others need a guy who is just above an average guy. So it's up to you, but think about it. Like, don't you think that if you had better men in your environment, you would be more secure and less anxiously attached when there is one guy who stands out? So what it means is that you need to work on your network. You see, you need to become a social butterfly. You need to make yourself more approachable, and that's something that I cover actually in my bundle. And I'm gonna discount that bundle for Black Friday. So yeah, watch this space. But yes, of course, having a bigger pool of men will help you be more confident. But I also want you to understand that confidence needs to come from within, because maybe right now you don't have that pool of men, so you can't wait to have access to those top executives to feel securely attached, because actually that won't be enough, you see. So you need to work on it whether you have access to those men or not. Okay, but I guarantee you that once you put in the work, you start to attract better, and you won't even see it coming. Like, some days you're gonna meet ambassadors, and when in the past you were used to that middle class guy and all of that. So I guarantee you that it's possible for you, but you need to put in the work first. Okay, so what you can do already to ease your anxious attachment without meeting those top executives, those high profile men, is working on understanding male psychology. You see, if you understand if you understand the counterpart, how they think and all of that, it's going to be easier for you to have the upper hand. You see, you need to understand what they value. You see, you need to understand how they think, their pattern, what makes them say yes to some ladies and no to some. And you also need to understand yourself, what triggers you, what triggers your anxious attachment, and how to avoid those triggers. You see, like, a lot of women will be like, oh, I slept with him, now I have anxious attachment, what to do about it? Whereas a woman who works on anxious attachment would be like, oh no, I won't get intimate with men outside of a commitment, because I know that it triggers my anxious attachment. So it's more about the things that you don't do than like the things that you're gonna stop doing than the things that you're gonna do. You see. But yeah, you need to start watching your triggers to understand what you are doing, and also pay attention to your dating strategies, because I would not be surprised if some of the things that you do actually pick me and they make you fall in love prematurely. And that's the reason why when I coach, I'm in touch with my students every week, because I know that I need to have a look at what they do every week, because I know that they might do things that make the guy think that they are a pick me. I'm gonna give you an example. Like the other day, I was chatting, yeah, with one of my students, and she was talking with a guy who lives in another country, and she was traveling there, and the guy told her already, yeah, I don't want a long distance relationship, and when she was ready to travel, she told him, oh, by the way, I will be in your city next week. I would love to see you, even if it's just eating a steak and talk about life and all of that. And she thought that she was doing something good, but actually she was the one chasing him, because she's not supposed to tell him, oh, basically what she did now was arranging the date. You see? So there are things like that that you do that are pick me without knowing it. So a woman who played her cards right would have told the guy, oh, by the way, I will be in your city, I'm so excited, and leave it at that, and then see if he's excited about meeting her. You see? Because you need to understand that if you position yourself as the prize and you think that you're a baddie, you assume that he doesn't have access to many women like you. So if he doesn't have access to many women like you, it means that he's gonna jump on the occasion of seeing you. You see? Hello ladies, I'm so happy to see more of you join the chat. I know that some of you are actually at work, or maybe you have a lunch break. So I appreciate you for showing up for yourself. And if you missed the beginning of the live session, don't worry, I'm gonna post the replay on YouTube so that you can watch everything, because I gave you some real strategies to increase your perceived value and to actually be more playful. And I know that every time I talk about being playful, some of you leave comments like, oh, what can I do to be more playful and all of that. So that's why I shared some of the tactics that I use with my students. And I tell myself that I really want to share the best tips with you for free, and because I'm not afraid of sharing my top tips for free, because what you get when I coach you is tailored advice. You see? My question for you is like, have you been putting in the work to become a baddie? Like, tell me what is that one thing that you have been doing lately to be a baddie? Maybe, I don't know, is you taking care of your body? Maybe it's gaining weight, maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's maintaining your weight so that you stop, your bad habits. Tell me what you do. Like, maybe we can inspire each other to be even more of a baddie, because I always say that there is always something to improve. What is that one thing that you do to be more of a baddie? It can be you throwing away all the clothes that don't fit. Like some women, like many of us tend to think, oh, I'm gonna wear this top, even though like it's not wearable anymore, but like I can keep it as a pajama. Whereas a baddie would think, no, everything I wear is a reflection of how I feel internally. So I only want silk, and I only want to wear satin. So if there is a hole on my pajama, I throw it away, or I upcycle it so it becomes, a cloth for cleaning. You see? So I'm really curious, like, what is the mental shift that has happened to you to become more and more of a baddie since you have been working on your femininity? Because I don't want to believe that you have been following me for months or even for years and you haven't changed anything. And like, there are so many femininity pages that are booming now, and we do, as the collective, we do an amazing job and all of that. So I don't want it to be something like you just follow but you don't follow through. Okay? So can you share maybe in the comment section, like, guys, if you are watching the replay on YouTube, can you please share what is that one thing that you have been doing to feel more like a baddie, or something that you have done in the past to be a baddie? So Hanya is asking, what is the definition of a body? So the other day I posted on Instagram and I said, this was the post. How to find love when you aren't a body. And then I said, option A, you spent a lot of money on cosmetic surgeries, but you are still not in love with your looks. Option B, at school, growing up, you were never the pretty girl that all the boys wanted to date, but you were the one getting good grades, and today, like, you are successful and all of that, but you still feel like the plain Jane. So I would say that this life session is more for women who feel like the plain Jane. Is for women who type on Google how to find love when you think that you are ugly. And it's also for women who think, how can I find love? Like, can I get a high value man at my age? And they so far they have been neglecting their looks because they thought that it wasn't important. So today I didn't talk much about how to level up your looks. I talked mainly about the mindset and the attitude of a body. I will think of a live session to do, or maybe a normal video, a normal YouTube video to work on the looks and the routine, because I know that many women struggle with keeping up with their appearance after leaving school, and I totally understand that, because you have to cook healthy food, you need to clean your house, do your maintenance and all of that. So yeah, that's actually a second job. So I can totally see why it's hard for you to keep up with your appearance, and it looks like other things needs to go, right? It's hard to be consistent at the gym, but also cook healthy meals, but also keep the house tidy, but also work on your intellectual life, have time for your friends, for your family, for your guy. It takes time, so some things need to go or need to be optimized. So yeah, maybe I could go live again on the things that you could optimize to make it work. Okay, ladies, well, it was a pleasure for me to go live today. I need to do it more often. I know I say it all the time, but I don't want to show up just for the sake of it. I really want to bring value, and that's the reason why I try to think of a way to make the lessons digestible for you, because I see myself as a coach, not as an influencer. So I can't just show up and show you the things that I bought lately, because first of all, I want you to respect the environment and be mindful of what you buy and what you don't buy. So yeah, my goal is not just to throw a bunch of products at your face to make you buy. I want those live sessions to be educational, helpful, and transformational as well. Okay, so for those of you who are joining late, don't worry, I'm gonna put the replay on YouTube. You're gonna have it on Wednesday, and tomorrow you're gonna have, I hope I don't forget or I don't get overwhelmed, but yeah, you're gonna have a post tomorrow on Instagram that is certainly educational. So yeah, and if you have an emergency and you want me to have a look at your situation, you can have a free consultation with me by sending me a DM. I don't accept everyone, because I want to make sure that I can actually help. So yeah, send me a DM, and if I can help you and I feel like I'm the coach that you need, I'm gonna offer you a free consultation. And if I can't help you, I'm gonna redirect you to someone else. Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for tuning in. I will see you next time. Bye bye.